1987 Victorian, or is it National Football League season is underway. Micken to Williams, captain to vice-captain for the Bears, who race straight into attack, but repelled by the North Melbourne captain, Captain Courageous Schimmelbusch, to Jim Cracker on the wing. When the first roar of the season erupts, some love him, some hate him. He is a great player. To half forward. Pressure on the Bears. They're going to face a lot of it early in this season. Dixon kicks to the wing, but there's Cracker again from forward of the wing. Wobbly old punt to half forward. Beyond. McDonald. In fact, it's Crocker up on the half forward line. Between half forward and full forward, only about 30 metres out. And as you can see, the angle not great, but a testing kick. He'll be nervous. Conditions absolutely perfect, so no problems with a slippery ball or a dewy surface. It should certainly be first score to North Melbourne. Darren Crocker, new number this year, shocking kick. The first score of the season is a behind, kicked by the Roos. And Bernie Quinlan, I couldn't have imagined you missing that from there.
I've missed a few in the last couple of years from about that distance, Tim, so I can feel sorry for Crocker there. I know what he's going through.
Well, we wait now as the Brisbane Bears, through Mark Roberts, kicks it wide out looking for Micken. With him is Mossop. Behind the mark is beautifully taken by German, I think, is Johnny Holt, the left footer, and kicks a beautiful one across. In front was Harris. Williams, strong and desperate, gets it out wide towards centre half back, and here comes O'Keefe. O'Keefe's in the centre of the ground for their first sally forward. Jim Edmund takes a beauty from a perfect pass from David O'Keefe. Well, here's an exciting piece of play for the Brisbane Bears. Edmund will kick from just about the 50-metre mark, and the ex-Footscray captain has got the opportunity to kick the first goal that the Brisbane Bears will ever register in a competition match, the first round. Here it is, right to the teeth of gold. No one can take it. It's punched out towards the boundary line. Running towards it was Bernie Harris. It's over the line, out of bounds.
So one scoring chance to each side in the opening moments. I thought Edmund might just about have made it from there. I remember seeing him kick 5 goals in a quarter for Footscray here at this ground. Mossop held high, no free kick. Law sturdy in defence, but out on the full. So a free kick to Bernie Harris, who doesn't mind a goal. An old teammate of Bernie Quinlan's.
Yeah, Bernie's very dangerous around goal, Tim, and he could be a big threat to put this one through, even though it's on a fairly acute angle.
Right on the boundary line in front of a very sparsely populated outer seating area there, and the crowd down. The VFL hoping for about 20,000. I doubt that they've got it, despite perfect weather. Not a bad kick. Harris has done it. The Bears get their first goal in VFL football, and what a great start for them from the proverbial impossible angle. And they lead by 5 points after 3 minutes. In fact, on the electronic scoreboard, it took the Brisbane Bears 3 minutes and 10 seconds of major competition to post their first goal.
He's a very dangerous player around goal, Bernie Harris, and he's a real acquisition to the Bears because they really need a goal sneak up there.
In the centre bounce again, left-footed out to centre wing, over the top it goes, a chance there for well picked up for the Bears from O'Keefe again, and down towards Law from behind. Here they go, Banfield across in the Jimmy Edmund direction. In front, he's got a great opportunity again, tangs along, nice hand pass, out it goes to Williams. Williams hooks it downfield, over Schimmelbusch's head, and Schimmelbusch pushes it through for one behind. Well, the North Melbourne skipper's right in the teeth of goal that time and saved it and pushed it through for a behind.
McCann with the Roos down by a goal and under some early pressure. Holt up from the wing. He's a beautiful left foot kick. Remember those couple of goals in the elimination final in '85, which helped destroy Carlton. Kick to the centre line. Bit of aerial ping pong. Crocker. O'Keefe again, he's been in everything, but this time he's under the lot. Cleared away by Fidge. Bounce beats everybody. Phillips. McCarthy taken over the line. And a throw in half forward flank for the Bears, who lead 7-1 after 4.5 minutes.
Very strong tackle by Hickey that time. Over the back, it is an ad chance for Mossop. Mossop almost gave away a free to McCarthy. In there goes McCarthy again. Good, strong player. Likes it tough and likes it rough. Played in 3 grand finals for Hawthorn. A very experienced player. One of those was a premiership.
Mossop against McCarthy, the two ginger tops. Mossop won, but didn't get it down directly. Rains gets his first kick for his fourth VFL club. North out of trouble. Law under pressure again, and once again a poor kick from him. McDonald now, the rugged one, loves it rough and tough. Out wide, but the Bears lead in the race. The warm conditions might be up their alley because they've been training in this sort of weather in Brisbane. Walsh, former Collingwood and Richmond wingman, to half forward. Pretty well placed for Phillips, who's got it in front of him. Left footer from an impossible position. Didn't even have time to really control the way he put it to boot. And as a result, the former Essendonian and before that South Australian player put it way out of bounds, and McCann takes the free.
Steve McCann gives it across to John Mossop. Mossop in the back pocket with his first kick for North Melbourne. Puts it out towards half-back flank. Micken's in great position, but goes and punches at Cracker, his third kick. Down towards centre wing. In front, it's punched away nicely by Reynolson. Overrun, picked up there by Campbell. Campbell lost it. And eventually it's North Melbourne out wide, and running with it is Holt again. He's a magnificent kick, but that's a grubber and a bad one. Harris hits it back over the top, and down it goes, and saved the last minute. Driven out wide to O'Keefe, who's been in absolutely everything. He's hand pass to Rains. Rains in a little bit of trouble on half-back flank. Kicks it long.
Bears doing well, but it's 2 against 1 in North's favour. Mossop the big spoil to Schimmelbusch. Scrambled kick, but again a chance for Brisbane. Williams, former Collingwood skipper, gets the hand pass to Harris, who gets it further out to Walsh, who goes long, and hit the post. I was about to say straight. It was pretty straight, but not quite straight enough. And so 7 minutes into the first term, the Bears doing most of the attacking and leading by 7 points.
McCann looking for Holt. Holt completely outmarked and outmarked. It was David against Goliath that time, and the captain takes a good mark. That's Mark Micken, the South Australian. Hand passes to Rains, the long kicker. Rains sends it downfield. In front, the chances for McCann, but he's almost outmarked that time. Here's an opportunity now, and well done, Jimmy Edmund. Puts it through. His second kick, and he gets a goal. And that's the second goal, of course.
And what a tremendous start. They lead by 13 points. So I've said the weather conditions ideal, no wind. And Bernie, I think everybody perhaps a little surprised to see them get off on such a good footing.
Yes, and I think especially North Melbourne, Tim, because I'm sure they didn't expect to start as the Bears to start as well as they have. They've had all the play, and they've put North Melbourne under tremendous pressure.
Micken setting up the attacking move with that fine mark in front of Holt. Rains' long kick capped off by Edmund, and the Bears with a break. Play restarts, and North through Steele into attack, and Cracker, who's had 3 kicks already, will get his 4th unless he hand passes it. He's 55 metres out and places it beautifully for McDonald inside the 50-metre arc. He'll kick though from perhaps just outside it, so a very testing shot. His 3rd possession. North down by 13 points. And big Donald McDonald, who played his early matches for North at full forward. No comment, but it falls fortuitously for Steele. Right into his lap. And he's now 35 metres out, virtually directly in front. So a stroke of luck for the Roos. And they needed it to gain some equilibrium. Redhead Steele kicks, not a bad looking drop punt, but off direction for their second behind. It looked nice off the boot, spun truly at least, but never really online. So a 2-goal lead to the Brisbane Bears after some 9 minutes.
Lead of Rains was ignored. It's kicked out wide again, looking this time for Reynolson. Reynolson can't hold it. All they go downfield again, and it's the long running Campbell. Matthew Campbell kicks it out wide, and Jimmy Edmund again. And short out wide, looking there for McCarthy. McCarthy picks it up on the 50-metre line, steadies and sends a long one goalwards. It's just offline through for 1 behind.
The short pass then intended for Richardson. Ever the opportunist around the sticks, was running into space, but the pass not finding him in the first instance, and McCarthy finishing up with a tougher shot. McCann places it well for Arceri. And just about the smallest man in VFL football. Kicks towards the wing. Fidge in the middle. Good grab. Tough former Demon. late recruit for the Bears, and does it nicely. He's a good player when he's going. Up to full forward, bit of pushing and shoving. Schimmelbusch nicely in defence, and support for him from Ackley, who shaved the beard off. Doesn't place it well. Walsh out in front of Holt on the practice wicket area. Nicely placed hand pass for Phillips. Back to Walsh. Now Richardson. Too far. Micken. Good manoeuvrability. Richardson. Fidge. High tackle from Hickey. No free kick, surprisingly so. Now Richardson with the left boot. Mossop the big fist. Dwyer now, son of the former North Melbourne champion. But again, North Melbourne's kicking not good. Beyond half-back. Larkin, nicely done. Steele, a couple of the kids of 85. Up to half-forward. Reynoldson in the way and takes it well. At centre half-back, and perhaps the umpire just warning McDonald that Bill Della has notified coaches that you're not allowed to throw players down after they mark, or you might find yourself in the umpire's book.
Reynoldson wide. Oh, lovely mark. Johnny Holt again. Over the top of Mark Williams that time. This is his 4th possession. Sends it long. A lovely kick to Harris. And Harris marks it well. Harris is too far out to score, I think. When he kicks it, it'll be a good 55 metres, so it's a long one. Kicks it long and right. It's a beautiful kick. Touched on the line. Well, I thought it was going to make it for a moment.
Just seemed to hold up, didn't it, over the last little bit? Doesn't seem to be any breeze out there. Perhaps some aerodynamic factors. Bernie, you'd be a master of those, having kicked a fair few goals over the years.
Yeah, probably the night air might be a little bit heavier than in the normal day games, Tim, so that's probably what held it up there.
Daring kick back into play, straight down the middle. Comes off pretty well. Campbell off the ground. Nicely placed too for Phillips, right on the centre line. Into centre half forward. McCarthy in front. Looked for the hand pass to Richardson, but decided it wasn't quite on. Looks for some movement now. Kicking from outside 50 metres. His 2nd kick with his new club. It's a goodie. Will it make it? Just touched inside. Almost a repeat of the incident at the other end of the ground. And the Bears get their 3rd behind and lead by 2 straight kicks. In fact, they're 4th behind and lead by 13 points after almost 13 minutes.
The target out wide is Dwyer. Dwyer's beaten by McCarthy. O'Keefe, who's played brilliantly and is well shepherded. Steadies now onto his left foot and kicks it down to the teeth of goal once again. McCann and Hine go for it. Over the head of the packet, goes through for 1 behind. Interesting, the placements down there with Smith is on Edmund, who was picked at 4 forward. McCann's picked up the giant beanpole in Hine.
And McCann having plenty of work to do. 5th time the ball's been put back into play after a behind. He gets a good lead from Holt, who got away from Walsh, who didn't chase from the other wing. Beautiful left foot pass to Law between half-back and wing. And 15 metres against Fidge, who wouldn't come back on the mark. Law kicks towards half-forward, but another poor kick out on the full. 2nd time he's done that, and the Roos disposal really so far has been atrocious.
Yes, it's Rains' kick, I think. The umpire said it's not yours. Yes, it is Jeffrey Rains. He was closest to the ball. There was no doubt about that. Rains now at centre wing position on the grandstand side. Kicks it long. North Melbourne's opportunity, but behind the pack. Well done, Bernie Harris. Steadies and looks for Hine. Hine comes down, but it's going to be Jim Edmund in front, and Smith is with him. Schimmelbusch there to help. Schimmelbusch got nobody to kick to, but wisely hand passes out wide. Taken by Ackley. Ackley's a dangerous hand pass to Crocker. Crocker's tackle, beats 2 of them, gets a long hand pass downfield. The chance for Steve McCann. McCann went for the player and not the ball. Banfield goes down as well, and the Bears are tumbling on top of it. Picked up by Stephen McCann. Out wide it goes to centre wing, and they're off.
Ackley spears it inside for Stevenson. It's come unstuck. Reynoldson. Through the centre go the Bears, and things are working for them. Edmund from behind had the run at it. I thought the big ride might have been on. Still a chance. Flying shot from Banfield towards the sticks. But Schimmelbusch, doing a lot of defensive work, has saved on 2 or 3 occasions back there, and finds the former cat, Big John Mossop, who kicks to the wing, but his team is outnumbered. However, his placement was excellent, and he finds McDonald.
McDonald then comes back towards centre half forward in open territory. Opportunity now for the Bears once again. Rains it is. Rains out wide and Dwyer's underneath it. Look out comes Williams. And Williams went into him and down goes Dwyer. O'Keefe's got an opportunity and Dwyer's felt that one. O'Keefe will take a free kick against McDonald.
Kennedy's Commandos tackling pretty hard. O'Keefe's had a good quarter, but he's just blotted his copybook. And a chance for the Roos. Love. Arceri juggled it on the chest. I think that was quite legitimate from Rains. He was bearing down and couldn't really stop. No malice. 55 metres from goal. Kicks it high towards Harris. One good grab. Couldn't get it at the second attempt. The refuge of the boundary line found by a desperate Bears defence who lead by 14 points. They're having a very good first quarter. We're halfway through it.
And Richardson comes on to ruck roving. He's been followed by Schimmelbusch most of the match. Downfield it comes. Jimmy Cracker's got it. Impossible angle, shoots across the face of goal, and off the hands of the packet goes over the line as Harris was the leaper, I think, and Mark Roberts his opponent.
The Roos just missed the finals last year after making them in '85 and looking to get back in this year. Oh, Roberts fumbled, let Cracker in. Terrible mistake from Mark Roberts. Jimmy Cracker's 6th kick. He really has been North Melbourne just about in the first half of this opening quarter of the season. And the Roos back to within 8 points, but Bernie, it's got to be one grab in defence.
Yes, that was a bad mistake by Roberts. He really let Cracker in for a very easy goal in the end. And they're the sort of things that the Bears cannot afford to do because, you know, the opposition will just make the most of those sort of mistakes.
Here comes Arceri, grounded. Thrown to the ground there was Steele. Steele's in the centre on Rains, incidentally. Jeffrey Rains, who was the best centre man in Australia about 5 or 6 years ago. Now, 4 clubs in 5 seasons, picked up by Richardson. Richardson's kick is smothered. Crocker gets it out. Dwyer loses it. Richardson's off again. Onto his left foot. Drives it out wide, looking for Edmund, who's in front. Off the hands of the packet, goes out wide, and here comes Stephen McCann. And he's quite happy to see the ball go over the line out of bounds. He did really try to find Ackley, but now it's out of bounds. It'll be thrown in with the Bears still in attack.
50 metres from the Bears' goal. Oh, well played, Walsh. Great skills there. Now Phillips. Sidestep into trouble. Hine, the big man, the rangy one. McCarthy drops the short one in beautifully and finds Williams, the vice-captain. 40 metres out and directly in front. They fiddled a little and I thought could have been more direct, but eventually it's worked for them. And a chance for Williams, an ungainly kick, but normally very effective around goal. If he can get the distance, he'll kick it pretty straight. He's done it. Well done. And Mark Williams, who left Collingwood, I suppose, under something of a cloud, will certainly be anxious to show everybody out at Victoria Park what he's made of. And there's where it started, Bernie. Great play by Walsh.
Yes, it was a very promising forward move. I reckon they've surprised North Melbourne with the way they've opened. It's really been North Melbourne who've looked the nervous side, and the Bears have settled down very quickly.
McCarthy filling in very well at centre half forward. In comes Hine now. Gets it away from Mossop. Out to Williams. Rains misses a slick hand pass. Pushes his opponent Crocker. Crocker out wide to Hickey. Hickey downfield. Over the back and a splendid mark taken on the half forward flank for North Melbourne. It's Jamie Stevenson. Stevenson now with his left foot boots it downfield. It's a chance for Roberts. And this time he makes the best of it.
So I think his heart might have been in his mouth there for a moment after the mistake a few minutes ago. Kicks very high. Not a great kick. Reynoldson in front. Fidge. He's a tough one. Williams to half forward. Not so well placed. And Ackley, ever reliable and ever attacking back pocket. The hand pass floated too far for Hickey, but he wins it to Mossop. Now Hickey overruns it. Lets in Walsh. The Bears through Walsh. Harris on the outer wing. He's got some space. Time to think about it. Walsh again. Doing well on that wing. He's had a big quarter, but that's a poor kick, and Law doesn't miss that. 7 possessions to Walsh so far.
And Law's looking pretty short for centre half back against McCarthy. Richardson up, and it's a good mark. No, it's not Richardson, it's Johnny Fidge again, and Fidge has played a screamer. His kick is a very bad one. Past, here comes a chance for Williams. Williams in trouble, Borks off to Range. Range in tons of trouble. Back it goes with a wild hand pass. An opportunity for North to get out of danger. Crackers with the ball. Hoofs it out wide towards centre wing position or half-back flank. It's punched on very cleverly, and then the bounce of the ball runs away from Love. He still gets it, and bad luck, Jason Love, with his left footer. He kicks it over the line, out of bounds on the full. Free kick to John Fidge.
Yes, he's having one heck of a quarter. Hugs the boundary. Thought he might have centred that. Edmund tackled high. The umpire's letting it go as they've done in all the pre-season matches, and well-placed Edmund. Beautifully placed to Banfield, just inside the 50-metre arc. Long left footer, but it's offline. The Bears have certainly had some opportunities. 3 goals from 9 scoring shots. They lead by 15 points, and if anything, deserve to be further in front after 21 minutes.
Short to Schimmelbusch. Schimmelbusch over the top it goes. Chance now for Larkin, who's been very quiet. Left foot it downfield, and on the back it's Millie Crocker. He's backed up nicely, Fidge. Fidge helps his teammate. Good hand pass to Reynolson. Reynolson downfield. Kick off the ground by Larkin's unsuccessful. Then regains possession. McDonald is almost centre half back as he sends it out wide looking for Arsiri. Arsiri shows tons of pace and takes a splendid mark.
Kicks it in a hurry, but kicks it badly. Roberts at grass top level. Fumbled it. German, named on the interchange bench. He's too good to be there, and North want plenty from him. Now Harris, left foot snap is way offline. Just a minor. And the margin 14 points at the 22-minute mark.
Oh, word Bernie, Jim Edmund's looking good at full forward too, isn't he? Very lively.
Very dangerous player, Jim Edmund, and if they don't watch him closely, he's capable of kicking a bag of goals.
Yes, he's got a short opponent on him in the person of Smith, which enjoy, because he's got a magnificent leap as Jimmy Edmund. Good kick, Roberts. Looking for Mark Williams. In front was Mick and should have held it to Larkin. Larkin out wide is clever to German. German into Steele. Steele shoots for goal and misses. Nice teamwork that time, and all lost at the last when a wasted opportunity. Steele missed that easy one.
That's a couple he's missed. And neither has been that hard. The other a set shot. Bernie Harris marks the short pass kick in. Hasn't placed that well. Holt. A full stretch just forward of the centre. He really knows how to use the ball. His 5th kick. Penetrating. Mossop. Well spoiled. Cracker. He's done it as only he can. The Roos have 2. Cracker has them both. He's had 8 possessions in the first quarter, and if it wasn't for him, they'd trail by much more than 7 points.
Yes, magnificent kick there by Cracker. He certainly makes the most of his opportunity when he gets him around goal, and he showed the rest of the North Melbourne players how to do it.
It's always clutching hands, stretching out, but he's not there. He's magnificent. Will of the Wisp, best and fairest by a long, long way last year for North Melbourne. And best for them tonight. Up goes Hind and gets it down nicely over the top of Williams. Picked up by Hickey. Hickey goes to the ground. They tumble on top of him. Over his neck as well. And Hickey looks at the umpire and says, please, it must be my free. Umpire ignores it, will be badged.
Bit unlucky there, Doug. I think they landed on top of him.
Yep.
I'm sure we're going to see both sides trying to capitalise on the liberties being given by the umpires. Steele gets boot to a flying ball. German almost. Now Walsh, who's really doing well on that outer wing. Steele under it. Now down after taking the mark. Plays on so the umpire doesn't intervene. Beautifully placed pass finds German. Now Schimmelbusch, the veteran, on the 50-metre line. A flyer, a beauty, a goal!
Looking much better now, North Melbourne. It's taken them a while to settle down, but they're getting their flow on going again, and that was a magnificent kick by Schimmelbusch.
Well, that's leadership by example. Running for the hand pass, 5 metres in from the boundary line, 50 metres out, and somehow he found the opening. And there has been only 1 free kick, would you believe, in this first quarter, which is 24 3/4 minutes old.
And Schimmelbusch, game number 297, and still as ubiquitous as ever. A magnificent player. Williams got the chance. Richardson's with the ball. Borks then loses it. Back it goes and kicked downfield by Harris. Underneath it, McCarthy for an awkward one. A great leap by Smith that time, and he's going to pay it. Beautiful leap from behind. I doubted whether he held it quite long enough, but, well, it was a lot of there for endeavour, I guess. Smith now at centre half-back. Sent it out wide, looking there for Harris. Over the back it goes, almost taken Dwyer. Lovely running football by Steele, and down he goes, or Stevenson. Down it goes field, and here comes Roberts. Doesn't look like it. The Bears have got the chance through Reynoldsson. He can't pick it up, but in the pocket it's there now. And out it goes towards O'Keefe. Up goes Steele above him, and down it goes away from the fingers of O'Keefe.
Well, it's a contest now. North slow to start. But a few seconds into time on, they're within 1 point after great goals to Cracker and Schimmelbusch, and who better to give them a lift? Down goes German, who's giving them a lift on the half-forward line at the moment. And he really is a powerhouse. Looks a lot like Rene Kink did when he was about the same age, and can play just about as well, and perhaps keeps his mind on the job a little bit more. Rains and Williams. Strong, fierce tackling. Free kick, one finally plucked, and it goes the way of the vice-captain from Brisbane, Mark Williams.
And he was captain of Collingwood for 5 years. A magnificent career, actually. Out wide looking for McCarthy. McCarthy, ooh, there could have been a free there to the Bears, the will beat. John Law crashed right through, Phillips it was. Out wide it comes, and an opportunity for a long one downfield. In front is Dwyer. O'Keefe is above him, but there's 2-1 against him, and Crocker comes into assist. Steadies with his left foot and looks for Jimmy Cracker. There's a million against him, and it was too much height against him. The mark has taken a centre halfback.
Dixon, former Demon. Out to the wing, 2 against 1 for North. That's not a well-placed kick, and Crocker. Oh, if the other one was paid back there to Smith a moment ago, that should have been 2. And now a throw-in. I thought that was something that far more resembled a clean grab than that of Ross Smith's, but the umpire not convinced. 27 minutes gone in the quarter. 24 plays 23. The Bears in front. A real contest in this first term. Harris a lovely backhander. Williams, though, who's put in a big first quarter. North with 2 men at the ball. Holt missed it. Phillips in a tangle with Smith, and a ball up, centre half forward for the Bears. 27.5 minutes in, and Brisbane lead by a point.
And Brisbane are in attack. McCarthy very strong that time. Hand pass comes over wide, looking for O'Keefe. O'Keefe is well shepherded. Doesn't like his right foot much, but does it well. Jim Edmund in the middle of a big pack. In front, the chance for Williams. Very clever hand pass out towards Walsh. Back it goes to McCarthy. McCarthy, a left-footer downfield. And the mark is taken beautifully by Jim Edmund again.
Great mark, Jimmy Edmund. Gee, he judged that well. They're not easy to take in the MCG in the lights, but that was a fantastic mark.
Well, he went early, Bernie, and he seemed to hang in the air. And really, the outstanding part of the ex-Footscray captain's football arm is marking. He did it so well, and he kicks it very nicely and puts the Bears nicely in front. It's now 3-5 to 4-6. That's 7 points the difference with the Brisbane Bears lead. That's a slick hand pass. Yours, Bernie.
Yeah, that play started with Williams reading the ball off the pack. A very quick handball over to McCarthy, and Jimmy Edmund made the most of his opportunity when the ball was delivered up into the forward line.
That's his second. The Bears 4th. Brisbane by 7 points very late in the first quarter. And well rucked by Micken. Beautifully played, even though he was in worse position. Dwyer gains 10 metres for the Roos. A whistle. It was a Bears free kick, so advantage invoked to full forward. Where will it bounce? Another whistle. North Melbourne free kick. And McCann will take it, occupying a permanent defensive posting, with Mossop sharing the ruck work with Harris. And the big number 16, who's crossed the 200-game barrier to join the elite, kicks to half-back, and it's quarter time at the MCG on opening night 1987, and the Brisbane Bears have covered themselves with glory in the first term.
To make the most of the opportunity too, he doesn't miss many.
Back at centre bounce, it's Micken against Mossop. Mossop wins this one, picked up by Rains. Rains boots it out wide where McCarthy and Law are coming towards it, but the chance is there for Ackley. It's picked up nicely back towards centre wing. Steele is with it. Steadies himself and sends it down towards the half-forward line. Reynolds and McDonald, down it comes. Hand pass goes out wide. Well picked up by Crocker. Crocker gets to out wide and a left-footer down towards the line, and it's well taken down there by Stevenson.
Way out on the half-forward flank. Harris, he should have marked that. He had about 3 metres on Roberts. He couldn't wrap the hands around the leather. So a throw in, a wasted opportunity for North. It's just 15 metres around from the behind post, and he's cursing himself as he comes back. The Bears by 13 points. Flying shot, Arsiri, goal. Well done, and the Roos needed it. The little man with the big heart. Many felt he was too small to make it in the big league, but he certainly is measuring up, I think, in about his 3rd season now, and closes the gap to 7.
Yeah, great play there, Arsiri. It was a good tackle also from the ruckman there in the forward pocket. He contested the ruck, and then he tackled Williams and gave Arsiri the opportunity to nip in and kick that beautiful snap goal.
Back at centre bounce, Johnny Moss at the ex-Geelong, beaten by Mick and picked up by Williams for about his 13th possession. Out it goes to Schimmelbusch, about centre half back, steadies and kicks out looking for the brilliant Cracker. He won't let him down, dodges across and gives it to Mossop. Mossop back to Cracker. Cracker weaves out of danger, steadies and kicks it very long down towards the full forward zone. And the mark is taken, I thought, by Stevenson, lost, and it's forced through by Roberts. Well, I thought Stevenson might have had a grip on that one, but he didn't hold it long enough.
I'd go with the umpy on that. Now Roberts goes to the members' side, lobs the ball out in front of the members, but hasn't placed it. Mossop in the van, one-hander. Bit of a juggle. And the man from the wine-growing district of Penola drops it into Larkin. A real up-and-comer for North Melbourne. Goes for Cracker. Dixon spoils. Cracker's there. Still Cracker. Fidge playing a fine game. Reynoldson. Wobbly effort. McCarthy, good knock on a beauty, in fact, to Phillips. Didn't bounce kindly. Towards half forward. 2-on-1 in North's favour. Hickey to the line, and the throw into occur between wing and the Bears' half forward flank.
A little bit of bad luck there as they were playing to space, and Rains was in good position but got a very unlucky high proppy bounce and lost the opportunity which Hickey got rid of. A nice punch from Law. Or free kick must go to the shin boners. No, they're not playing them. Picked up by Holt. Holt then kicks it straight down to Campbell. Campbell gets a hand pass out wide to Richardson. Richardson on to Dale Dixon. Dixon steadies and now sends it long. Sends it down towards centre half forward, looking there for Micken in front. Here's an opportunity for Mossop. Overran it. Regains his feet. Down goes Larkin. Out wide it comes, and it's kicked downfield, and the free kick is given. No, it's not given. I thought that was the ironical cheers for the crowd.
Advantage paid.
Advantage paid. There were 5 free kicks only in the first quarter. Here comes John Holt right to the boundary line. Takes it over the line out of bounds.
There's 5 and a couple for out of bounds on the full, but just 5 paid by the umpires for actual physical infringements. McCarthy and Mossop. Arsiri starting this quarter with a bang. Bears there in numbers. Micken. Richardson now. Hasn't touched it too often. Spearing kick. Well played, Smith. Awkward bounce. And prompt, as a result, an awkward kick into the lap of Reynoldson, just behind the centre. That's 15 metres, and if the umpire really did what umpire's boss Della said he should do, he might have put a name into the book there, because the player was thrown down after taking the mark. Reynoldson with 2 15-metre penalties comes forward of the centre. Hine, first mark. The big rangy former South Australian in good position that time. And as you can see, if he gets himself into good position and the ball's kicked well, he's going to be pretty hard to beat. His 3rd possession, and he's only 25 metres out. Good kick. And the Bears lead by 2 goals at the 6-minute mark of the second term. In fact, they lead by 2-1, 13. As North keep gnawing away at the gap, but each time they get close, the Bears seem to find something.
Gee, that was a great mark there by Hine. He's a big boy, 199 centimetres, and when he gets that leading play that he needs to get going into his game, he gave McCann no chance of knocking the ball away.
Neil Hine came from Norwood, which is coached by ex-Richmond strongman Neil Baum. Up goes McDonald, beaten by Micken, hit out by Range. Range follows on, and Phillips is going to do some work here too. He's ridden into the ground that time, but maybe he was holding the ball. We'll wait for the umpire. He's got to give some decision. He's going to give a bounce. They certainly was held to him, but they're certainly not giving any free kicks.
Gee, they're making them earn them, Doug, aren't they?
Too much so, I think, don't you?
Yeah, I agree.
Micken down nicely, sharked. Can't break away. Oh, Phillips goes into his in the back of Steele. Still no free kick. A kick off the ground goes downfield, picked up there by Schimmelbusch. Schimmelbusch, a hand pass out towards the flank is dangerous, and they're looking for free kicks. Look at Phillips talking, and eventually a free kick is given, and I think it'll be taken by German.
German from half-back. 15 metres. Brings him forward at half-back. He kicks to the centre of the ground. Good spoil. Fidge, who's been in everything, up to the half-forward line. Big chance now for the Bears. Walsh, good centering kick. Well placed for Edmund. Pressure on Banfield. Too much for him. McCarthy. Still McCarthy. Now Edmund. They're being forced away from goal from aggressive defence. Rains goes long from 55. Good kick. Great kick. Hit the post. Brad Hardy, meanwhile, is warming up down just inside the boundary line on the wing. And that must be a heartening sign for Bears supporters to know that they're doing so well with the champion still on the sidelines. 6-7-43 plays 4-6-30, a 13-point lead to the Brisbane Bears.
And the free kick is being played to McCann, this fullback free kick, which takes him right up to the square, which is centre half back, and he sends a thumping 70-metre one down. Reynoldson in front should have held that one. A big punch, luckily goes out to Micken. Micken sends a long left footer downfield. Here comes Hine in front, almost took it. Down to the ground it goes, and tumbling 3-1 against him, and underneath all that, the Bears Phillips. And yet no free kick.
14-point lead to Brisbane, although the scoreboard shows 13. 43 plays 30. We'll check that. Fidge, a really outstanding game so far. Kicks to full forward. Whistle on play, and it's against Edmund for interference as that ball was floating goalward. And so the ruse through Smith will get out of a pickle to half-back, but the numbers are with the Brisbane Bears. Spoil from McCarthy from behind. Good tackle, Bernie Harris. Ackley, the hand pass to Steele. To Dwyer was great. Well placed, short to Harris. Between centre and half forward. Takes a bit too long, but then kicks a boomer. And through for a behind. Just scraping in for the minor score. And the margin is still 2 straight kicks, or just over. What do our stats say? 12 points.
With Mossop changing it full forward now, and long kick downfield is well done. Beautifully kicked. Phillips has been a good player. Very good player, Brenton Phillips.
We'll see they're using
left foot out wide to Stephen Reynoldson. Surreyburn, on we come now, an opportunity to Fidge again, and Fidge out to Williams is brilliant. Williams misses what he should have taken and misses it badly. Schimmelbusch kicks off the ground, tackled by Edmund. Free kick should have gone that time. And it is this time, and there'll be ironical cheers as the free is going to the Bears. And wide out there it looks like Walsh. Comes in onto his left foot and drives it downfield. McDonald's in front, punched away strongly by Hine, picked up there and driven by Williams, but off direction, one behind.
And he's giving himself a caning. He doesn't miss too many of those. He's as tenacious as he looks.
15th possession.
What a performance. I'm sure he's got a point to prove to a few out Collingwood way. Tremendous pipe opener for Williams. Kick into half-back. Brisbane really working hard. And they're going to earn a lot of praise, I think, for their performance so far, if they can maintain it for another 2.5 quarters. They really will have done very well. 11 minutes down in the second term in this match. 44 plays 31. The Bears by 13 points. Law's always been under pressure so far. And another ball up. 60 metres from Brisbane's goal.
Yes, Law's not really big enough for centre-half back. He's on McCarthy, who's had quite a big influence on the game. Out wide it goes. An opportunity for Williams. He shepherds nicely and gives it to O'Keefe. O'Keefe on the boundary line, hooks it down looking for Hine. Hine goes up very high. In front, here comes Bernie Harris. Hand pass to Jimmy Edmonds, and it's a goal. Well played, Hine. Well played, Jim Edmonds. That's his third. And Bernie Harris was a good contributor in the middle of that chain. Well played, Bernie.
Yeah, Bernie Harris is very dangerous around goals. He was fantastic when I played alongside him there when he was in the forward pocket. He certainly knows how to make the most of his opportunities, and to get that one over to Jim Edmund there, he could have had a shot himself, but he saw the opportunity to go over to Jim Edmund, and Jim certainly wasn't going to miss it from there.
They've kicked 5 of 7 between them. 3 to Edmund, 2 to Harris. And this is a handy break. And what a turn-up. A 19-point lead to Brisbane, and Rains pumps them forward again. McCarthy. Not paid. Yes, he has been paid. And he's within range. So Brisbane with their tails up.
He's too tall, Tim, isn't he, for Law?
Law not having a good night at all, in the air or on the ground. Every time he's won the ball, he's had people hanging off him. He's kicked badly. Had just 3 kicks. A couple of those have gone out on the full. McCarthy from 45 metres. Looks good. He's done it. Number 8 to the Bears. And they lead by 25 points at the 13-minute mark of the second quarter. And the premiere to the season under lights is not going in the direction that most people expected.
Most interesting to see, too, that the Brownlow medalist, Brad Hardy, has not been on the ground yet, although I might see him there at centre bounce. There he is. He's just appeared for the first time. So Peter Knights has kept one of his big guns, who's not yet fit, off, so he's got a good contribution to be expected from here. Comes Rains, who's done well. Out wide it goes to Fidge, who's done particularly well. He sends it long, looking for Hine, who's dangerous all day. In front, the chance was there for Dwyer, who lost it. There's John Law fighting for it. Brad Hardy steadies and goals.
His first kick to his new team.
Lovely football. No, he missed it. That was his first kick. It was a point. He steadied, had every opportunity, rammed for goal, but one behind only. And he's standing shoulder to shoulder with James Cracker.
Who's tagging whom?
Yes.
Hardy not a noted tagger, but it looks as though he's got a job, and perhaps Knights is imposing discipline, saying, I'll give you a champion to look after. Go and do the job for me. But it might be a good move. Harris, who spent most of the night at full forward but done some ruck work, is on the ball at the moment. Oh, Crocker, a beauty. Floating in from the side, taking the ball in outstretched arms away from the body. And this fresh-faced youngster with just 25 games under his belt has a great career in prospect. Good kick to half forward. Nice spoil though from Reynoldson. German working hard. Larkin, the class of 85 on the job, but that's a bad hand pass. Class of 75 now. Schimmelbusch under pressure. Goes the long way but does it well. Centering kick to the edge of the square. Mossop, a beauty. Too tall for Roberts. And Big John Mossop. Back in, yes it is. Not for long, I don't think. Pretty harmless one. The umpire's almost outnumbering the would-be aggressors.
Two of the small ones are Siri and Dixon.
And meanwhile, Mossop with the ball tucked under one arm waits to kick a much-needed goal for North Melbourne. I saw him kick 5 goals in the first quarter of the final here at the MCG for Geelong against Collingwood in 1981. Probably the best game he's ever played. He kicked 7 that day, and he's kicked his first for his new club, North Melbourne. They're 5th, and if ever they needed one, that was it, as they get back to within 20 points.
Yeah, well, when a player costs 102,000, as Mossop has cost North Melbourne, they really expect him to be firing up and to be leading the way in the ruck. And he was just too tall there for his opponent. He showed good judgment, a good pair of hands, and he couldn't miss it from where he was.
The move was started, I noticed, Bernie, by Larkin, who's been a very quiet player.
He has. He hasn't done much at all tonight, Markin.
Matty Larkin was best and fairest in 1985 and looked like becoming one of the real stars of the league. Had a very unlucky injury-studded season last year. Here comes centre bounce. Harris is coming in for the bounce. It favours him. It's punched away by Williams. All good, strong play, Crocker. Could have taken a free kick, and Walsh has got a wonderful opportunity. Centres it beautifully to Williams. That was great football, Walsh. And Williams has been the top possession getter for the night. Mark Williams, who served Collingwood with wonderful distinction, two best and fairests, came from Port Adelaide, where he played in a couple of premierships, so one of the really experienced players on the ground. Looks a wobbly kick, but he's a very accurate one at times. He's had 10 kicks in 17 possessions. What a nice kick it is too. And it's through. That's a beautiful kick. Mark Williams' second goal.
Yes, he's got a very awkward action there, Doug, but when he gets within 40, 45 metres of goals, he very rarely misses. He cut us to pieces, I remember, in one of the finals. I think it was about 85, 84, 85. He kicked about 3 or 4 goals in that first quarter, and we really never recovered.
And a lot of application, Bernie. You can see the dogged perseverance on him, can't you?
Oh, yes, he's a fantastic player.
26-point lead again to Brisbane. And North not making much progress. Hardy out of the centre. Well done. Edmund, a beauty. Good, strong mark. Under a lot of pressure. Very well taken. Inside 50 metres. And very kickable. 26-point lead at the 18-minute mark. It could become 32. And North getting into a deep hole. Edmund normally pretty reliable, but not this time. The margin becomes 27 points.
I note that Edmund's new opponent is John Law. Short pass is nice out to Dwyer. Well played, McCann. Did it nicely. In the direction of Schimmelbusch. Law is there to assist. Tries to get it across to his captain. This time he will. Oh, great smother. Beautiful tackle by Edmund. Back to Law. On to Matty Larkin. Larkin with a driving kick. That was a perfect pass, and it's taken by Stevenson. Stevens across, centres it well. No. Interception taken by Walsh.
Not doing much right, the Kangaroos. Roberts now. Bernie Harris on the half-back line, on the cricket pitch area, and the ball bounced a bit higher than he expected. Back to Roberts. The double-hander was nice to Dixon. They're looking good. Fidge into trouble and out of it. He's a confident player. Pops the pass in for McCarthy. Larkin scouts. Floats the hand pass. Nicely done. Shimmer through the middle. Spearing pass is a gem. Harris from 50 metres. Swings it beautifully and easily for Stevenson. Only 15 metres out. And very well done by North Melbourne. Well kicked by Harris to set it up for this fellow. He's 40 his way through the ranks, been around at Arden Street for a couple of years without really making it. They need this. It's low, but it's straight, and that's what counts. North get their 6th. The margin 21 points, approaching the 20-minute mark of the second term. And we must remember that North Melbourne really have proved themselves something of comeback specialists in the last couple of years. Under John Kennedy, they never say die.
Yes, you can't write North Melbourne off at this stage of the game. That was probably the best passage of play that they've had all night, with the way the Schimmelbusch ran the ball out of the back line, and that's really what North Melbourne have got to aim to do.
Once again, the hand pass went from Larkin to Schimmelbusch. Maybe Larkin's coming into the game. Opportunity now for McCarthy, who's been a good player. Out it goes to Micken. Micken to an open half-forward flank, and running with the flight of the ball, Bernie Harris. Back it goes nicely to McCarthy. McCarthy kicks it long, looking for Hine. McCann's with him. And a good punch from the side. Over it goes. A very high leap, little David Ackley.
Yes, he's pretty good at that.
He's a beautiful player.
Brisbane by 22 points. Almost 21 minutes down in the quarter. Arsieri makes good position from half-back. Cracker up on the wing, but an awkward pass for him. Needed that one out in front of him a little bit more. He was forced to try and take it overhead, and it was a sitting duck for Dixon coming from behind with the big spoil.
And Jim Cracker's gone out of the game in the second quarter. Dixon's done pretty well against him. Harris has shattered him just for a few moments too. Micken over the back it goes. Out it goes towards Walsh it was. Walsh downfield. And the leapers from North Melbourne's Ackley again and thumps it over the line out of bounds. Past number 2 there in the person of John Holt.
North got away to a bad start last year. Finished pretty well and could just about have made the 5. O'Keefe kicks to half forward for Brisbane. Well placed. Edmund, good try against Law. Now Richardson. Solid stuff from John Law. And from Rains. Inspiring stuff from Rains. Couldn't break away. And a ball up, the end result. Between centre and half-forward line for Brisbane. Plenty of aggression still in this match.
Micken doing well on the ball now. Here's a chance for Dwyer. Dwyer drives it looking for McDonald. McDonald's got the run of it if he gets the bounce, which he does. Left foots it back and a great interception by Dixon. Dixon in the back pocket.
Kicks beyond half-back. Dwyer again, starting to warm to the task a little after a slow start. Places it well, but German spoiled by Reynoldson. Well done by the former Cat. Big job at centre half-back in this patchwork quilt type Brisbane Bears side, but he's done pretty well so far tonight.
Micken again, Williams the contester. Rains has been a very good player in this second quarter. Out wide where John Mossop's got a great chance if he can reach it. Well played against him was Phillips. Picked up nicely by Dwyer, burning in the last few moments. They appeal for a free kick and Dwyer again. Off he goes and he gets a kick under pressure and they spoil each other, do Micken and Rains. Out it comes to Campbell. Campbell steadies and gets a long one out wide. And Philip Walsh has got the chance. Sends his left footer out looking there for Edmund and McCarthy. And the mark is taken there by McCarthy. Gets a hand pass. Back it goes out wide towards Jim Edmund. He balks and twists. Left foots it out wide and Hardy. Hardy misses what he might have taken. And to the ground it comes. And umpire's whistle blows for ball up.
So I thought Hardy might have really excited us then with a spectacular 2-grabber. I think if he was really match hardened, pardon the pun, it might have worked for him. Richardson's hand pass chopped off. Larkin, Schimmelbusch, who's been everywhere. Good pass. Smith on the half-back flank. Kicks to the centre line. McDonald's the target. Plenty against him. He couldn't win. Taken away by Campbell. Well done. Beyond half forward. Williams looked for the free. It definitely wasn't there. And eventually a ball up. 40 metres from Brisbane's goal. Late in the quarter, we're about 50 seconds from time on. And the Bears lead by 22 points.
And the umpire's still refusing to play free kicks. It's quite extraordinary, the minimal number of kicks for the night. Only 5 in the first term. Here's a chance now for Micken. Punched out wide, and Schimmelbusch being a gallant captain as usual. Out wide with a perfect pass. And it's taken by German. German's about centre wing position. The lead is given. Spoil is good. Fidge been very good, but that was a blind hand pass. Picked up nicely there by McDonald. Long hand pass from German is brilliant. Picked up by Steele. Steele 50 metres will shoot for goal. And Steele just misses. Well, when they get the ball running forward, they look good, Bernie.
They looked excellent there, but I think he should have handballed it over the top to Jimmy Cracker, who, you know, he would have been about another 15 to 20 metres closer to goal, and I think he would have made certain of that one.
Roberts, a little indecisive. Virtually goes down the middle. Not well placed. It's 3-on-1. Now it's 4-on-2. And the numbers might prevail here. Arceri just inside the line. Good acceleration. Oh, the bounce wasn't wise. Put himself under pressure and kicked badly to Mark Roberts, the former Swan, who's playing his senior football in the outposts. First Sydney, now Brisbane, but doing it pretty well tonight.
Yes, he was a local from Sydney, came from St George, which of course is, I guess, almost the most famous rugby stronghold in Sydney. And a good 25 metres, big strong boy too. He's looking at him pushing Harris back and right up onto the 50-metre line. Crowd raising their voices now and enjoying the game. It's 44 points to 55 with Brisbane in front. Out wide it goes and nicely taken there by O'Brien, who's on the ground. Richardson fumbles, still has the chance to get it over to Reynoldson. He's a bit slow. Hand passes out wide, and Dixon high in there with no direction. Underneath it, O'Dwyer, who takes a good mark. And he's bundled into the fence as he takes it too. And a very courageous catch.
It's finished up in the gutter, which is not a good place to be, whether you're on a football ground or in the street.
Particularly in loss.
David Dwyer, son of a great. Laurie kicks beyond the wing. North starting to work a bit harder. Steele up to the forward pocket. Too far for Mossop. Roberts didn't know whether to go for the line or not, and I think just as well in the end after some indecision that he did. He's a big broad one.
You're right, he wasn't at all sure of himself that time. Big Mark Roberts. Got a big assignment tonight for a very inexperienced player. Nicely picked up by Richardson. Richardson a bit slow, is taking a free kick. Play on, says the umpire. Dixon with it. Dixon across it, goes to Fidge. Fidge with a high one, goes back and is taken by Campbell. Campbell gets to the centre of the ground. Jeffrey reins in tow and does it with the old skill of Jeffrey. Off he goes past Mossop, gets his kick under pressure. Down it goes towards Hardy. And Brad Marks. Here comes Ginger Meggs. An exciting player. One of the real thrillers of league football. This is his third possession. And listen to the crowd giving him the stick, and it won't worry him one bit. He's about 45 metres out from goal, a very acute angle, kicks it high and kicks it long and kicks it very well. He responds to pressure, loves the crowd and kicks a magnificent goal after a fine mark.
I still think he's a long way away from fitness, Doug, by the look of him. Those thighs look a little bit big at this stage.
They're always big, Bernie. I saw him training here the other night. Peter Knight says he's got a little bit of flesh on him, but I thought he looked fairly well. He always looks heavy, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, I think he just looks a little bit heavier than I saw him last year.
Well done by Rains and beautifully marked by Hardy over a formidable player in Ackley. Now play restarts and Brisbane 71-44, 27 points in front. Hine having a run on the ball. O'Keefe shrugged the tackle well. Brenton Phillips, now Richardson. Back to the running Reynoldson from a long way out. Off target, absolutely. And McCann will take the free in the back pocket. My word, didn't the crowd respond to Hardy? There was some cheering and then suddenly must have been Simon Beasley and a few of his mates as they started booing down there.
The champs bring them in, out to Schimmelbusch, back it goes to McCann. McCann a very long left footer, out where Micken goes for it. It was Hine, down in front, an opportunity for McCarthy. High in the air and Richardson punches it down and very cleverly back it comes and Courtney's banned for it. Caught! They played a free kick. Play on, Cracker drives it out wide and running with the flight of the ball, the chance is there now. Bolting downfield is Smith and he fumbles it, he's still got the chance. And eventually steadies and kicks a short pass to Stevenson, and well played Ross Smith.
From just outside 50 metres, Harris caught out of position. It wasn't a well-placed kick, not that there was much to kick to. And too easy, really, for Brisbane that time to take it over the line and force a throw in when North really looked as if they were mounting some sort of a move. It's close to half-time, 29.5 minutes gone. Brisbane 27 points to the good. And perhaps playing for time now, and that mightn't be a bad tactic. We're almost at the 30-minute point. And it'll be about a 30-minute quarter, one would imagine. No major interruptions, and they'll be pleased to hear the siren. Here's a chance for Stevenson, who's kicked one in this term, and just misses this. Good attempt with the left boot. North's 9th behind, and the margin is 26 points, and we have crossed the 30-minute mark.
Yes, that was a good effort by Jamie Stevenson. He really showed a nice degree of acceleration as he got away from the pack, and then left foot hooker over his shoulder. Short pass. There's the siren. Just as Philip Walsh takes it. And at half-time, it's a very, very good lead for Brisbane Bears. 10 goals, 11, 71. Leading North Melbourne 6-9, 45.
So here we go into the third term. The Bears 71, the Roos 45. And looking for a supreme effort to get back into this match, but so often they've staged comebacks to score surprise victories. And Crocker boots them from defence into attack. Siri out on the wing, plays on cleverly into half forward. McDonald well spoiled, didn't look like it. Campbell under pressure, now Fidge, used to this ground, a former Melbourne player, well met by Steele. Rugged stuff and well done. Hickey, snap at goal. He's just missed a great opportunity, And North can't afford to waste those. They're 10th behind, and they trail now by 25 points.
And John Kennedy has made some moves, of course. He had to. The most important one is Stephen McCann to centre-half forward, away from full-back. A very good attacking player he is. Dale Dixon out wide, can't hold it, off his fingers, over the line, out of bounds. And Jimmy Cracker's in the forward line, so John Kennedy's hoping that his best and fairest Cracker, his second best and fairest in McCann, will revitalise that forward line. In comes Micken to do battle with McCann. McCann won it. It was lost badly by Bernie Harris, but he follows on very strongly. He's pushed over the line with the ball. Out of bounds, throw in.
Law at full back now for North, and Stevenson, who was in attack in the first half, is in a back pocket on Hine. The margin 25 points. And the Bears out of trouble. Bernie Harris, fine player for them. One hand on the ball from McCarthy. Flicked back into play by Harris for North Melbourne. New player on the ground for North is Holmes, but his hand pass was loose. Harris towards Richardson. Dropped the head a little. Outpaced by Holt, who was held. No free. Taking it the wrong way. Nice hand pass. Good space made by Crocker, who's a fine young player, but not well placed again. Micken. Williams, captain and vice-captain. Campbell to half-forward. Hardy's there, but leaves it for Edmund, who got 5 metres on Law and is inside the 50-metre arc.
Beautiful piece of football that time. Again, a very slick hand pass from Mark Williams in the middle of that creative play. In he comes for his 10th possession. 5th mark taken by Jimmy Edmund. And he's kicked 3 goals. From 45 to 50 metres out. Is it close? It is very close. It is one behind. Well, Jim Edmonds looked very dangerous all the time with his mobility up forward. His opponent now is John Law.
And the Roos get out of trouble here with Ackley making good position at half-back. Play on called, and Williams pounced. Schimmelbusch and Ackley have a tug of war, teammates. North constantly under the hammer. Larkin eventually gets it to Ackley. Towards Cracker. They kept them in it in the early part, but has been subdued since, and they've slipped out of it. Push in the back. Yes, and a free kick paid to Arceri on the half-forward line. A good 50 metres out. The little man will need to have a big kick on him to make the distance. I don't think he can do it, and I don't think he thinks he can either. It won't make it. Drops on the edge of the square. Micken up with the spoil, a very accurate one. Fidge to Campbell was good. Campbell a bad kick to half-back. Holt on the wrong kicking boot. Not so good on the right. And a throw in the end result between the flank and the forward pocket.
Bad luck, Holt. Lovely interception to get the ball, but as Tim said, he was on his wrong foot. He loves to roost that big left-footed. McCann battles with Micken. Micken being a good captain. Left-footer comes downfield. Here's an opportunity, and they fall down. Well played that time. Eventually it's taken by Dixon. The hand pass goes over to the back pocket, and Roberts is with the ball. He kicks it, running with the flight of the ball. It's all the chance of the Bears. O'Keefe's got a wonderful opportunity. Foot to ball very quickly, dribbles along the boundary line, and in comes Schimmelbusch. Gets an awkward bounce. Williams has got the chance. He's strong and tough. Very strong. Gets his foot to it, goes about 25 metres. Coming out to meet it is Ackley. Picked up by Law. Law across to Holmes. Holmes nicely, out it goes, and it's taken by Harris. Harris kicks to Arceri. Arceri takes his 4th mark, steadies and gives it to McCann. McCann will have a shot for goal. A very difficult angle. Steadies, hooks it back, and chooses to centre it. Up they go, and Roberts takes the mark.
Well, again, North coming unstuck after a beautiful setup. And finally not quite penetrating enough in attack. Micken floats it nicely for Dixon at half-back to the running Campbell. Pushed in the back, no free kick. Cracker the chance. Now German. They need plenty from him. And he does it well this time. And finds Larkin on the flank. Good pass. Beautiful pass to Smith. Up in the attacking half. But again, beyond 50 metres. And there aren't any key forwards. Mighty kick. Oh, a boomer.
Magnificent kick there. Tim. Gee, I haven't seen a torpedo like that for a long time.
That was a beauty. Caught everybody by surprise. He realised he might have been a chance and unloaded the torpedo. And even Bernie Quinlan, who kicked plenty of them from that range, is in awe of that. It went through at about 2/3 height.
Yeah, that had to be 70, 75 metres at least. It was a magnificent kick.
Ounce in the centre. Harris the leaper. Micken there takes it away from him. Harris picks it up and kicks it out to the flank, where our series on Waterson there. In front is Fedge, and a beauty by Steele. The mark of the match. In comes Matty Larkin, shoots for goal and rams it through. Well, this is what the Northerners have been waiting for, and what a sensational leap that was. A magnificent mark by Steele started it all off, and there's his teammates coming in. Here it comes, and there's Bernie Quinlan.
Yeah, Steele, he never looked like it all the way through until the last moment, but he kept his eyes on the ball right until the last moment. Took a magnificent mark. He didn't wait and prop and get the plaudits of the crowd. He got the ball straight onto his teammate, and consequently, it's a nice running goal.
Well, that was team-lifting football, if ever you've seen it. Micken gets the knock. Now Brisbane perhaps needing the lift. Rains can give it to them. He's 60 metres out. Kicks to full forward. Hine from behind against Stevenson. Ackley, good shrugging. And not a bad little kick either, rolling towards the line. Bernie Harris is bundled over with the ball for a throw-in. Brisbane deep in attack, but the margin suddenly back to 14 points after they appeared so well in control. But just 2 goals in 30 seconds have swung it, and 2 great goals they were. Holmes gave it away and got it back. Kicks to the centre line. Oh, McCann, a beauty. That's leadership from the big fellow, the 200 gamer, and runs on to full forward. Where's Cracker? Mossop fighting hard, and you can see North really lifting now, becoming far more physical and aggressive about their work. Not in an unfair way, but just really working harder at the ball.
It's been Dale Dixon's job most of the day to look after Phil Cracker. He's done it pretty well too. In comes Mossop, takes the ball, picked up by Rains, kick is smothered. Chance for Larkin, in lots and lots of trouble, gives it out to Hickey, his kick is smothered. Chance for Fidge, cleverly out to Dixon. Dixon's left footer doesn't do much good for his side, and diving at it there with great courage. Well played there by Walsh. Out it comes to McCarthy. McCarthy back it goes, and lightning work. And downfield comes Walsh once again. Sends it long. Over the back of Edmund it goes. Williams fights for it desperately. Good strong play there by Stevenson, and it's eventually picked up by Edmund. Out it goes from a wild hand pass. Williams comes in, beaten to it by Crocker, and eventually it's out of danger through Steele.
Exciting stuff now. Here's Holt, the running German, on the outer wing. Centering kick. Mossop. He's got it. No, he hasn't. Cracker. Desperate stuff from Cracker. Forces the ball up. 50 metres out from North Melbourne's goal. And you can feel North Melbourne lifting and the crowd responding. Fair amount of sentimental support for the Bears, but obviously their support is outnumbered by that for North Melbourne. Push in the back. No, still not paid. Steele. Good interception. Richardson. Good acceleration. Phillips. Nicely inboard. McCarthy. Explodes from a long way. It's a beauty. Was it touched? Yes, just. Just touched by Stevenson in the last line. And Brisbane could so dearly have used a goal. The margin 15 points.
Jamie Stevenson playing only his 4th game in his 3rd year of football. Here comes the kick out to Dwyer. Dwyer gets it punched away, and Williams, nice hand pass to Micken. Micken steadies and shoots for goal, and the captain hit the post. Bad luck, Mark Micken. Again, Williams very constructive. Been an excellent player as Mark Williams.
Brisbane unrattled by those couple of quick goals. They've scored the last 2 behinds, and both could have been goals. Schimmelbusch the scout, beautifully done, and still plenty of run in those old legs. Battle scarred as they are. 3 bounces. Lovely hand pass to Holt. He was on the wrong boot, so he hand passed to Hickey, who was crashed but got it to Arsieri from 40 metres on the angle. Mossop, yes! Not paid. And the crowd doesn't like it. It's a behind. And the margin is 15 points.
Well,
tough one for the umpire.
Yes, they're not paying free kicks and they're not paying marks unless they're really deserved, because Mossop was pretty unlucky in that particular one. Mark Roberts, who's had a big assignment all night, sends it downfield, looking for Williams. Oh, a tremendous leap by Harris, a soaring jump. And umpire indicates once again he will bounce it.
74 plays 59. Brisbane in front at the 11-minute mark of the third term. But North really starting to mount a revival. Richardson nicely to Rains. Out in front of Hardy. Some boos and a couple of cheers to half forward to McCarthy. Well bustled by Crocker, who's having a good quarter at centre half back. Well played McCarthy, who's been a fine goer all night. Ball up, half forward flank for Brisbane in front of the MCG members. Still 15 points the difference, approaching the 12-minute mark.
Bounce on the boundary line. It's over the line, out of bounds, with McCarthy pushing it eventually. McCarthy has been a very good contributor. He played a wonderful game in a grand final against Roger Merritt, and that's about as good as you can be if you can play a good one against him. Over the back it goes to Schimmelbusch. Schimmelbusch at half-back. In they come, and it's Campbell outmarked almost by Hickey. Hickey plays on strongly. John Holt. Out it goes to Dwyer. They swing into attack once again. Dwyer about 50 metres out. Sends it down the teeth of goal. In front, Mossop could have taken a free kick. A fight for Despry. Arsiri tries to kick off the ground. Picked up by Dixon. Very stern and reliable. Out it goes to Walsh. Walsh will give it to Harris. Harris has got the run of it. 2-1 against him. Steadies, gets around his opponent, but is caught. Gets a short left footer out to the boundary line, and it trickles over the line out of bounds.
It's the best quarter of the match. North Melbourne coming to life. Brisbane trying to answer the challenge. Some thrilling action at the MCG under the lights. McCann controlling at that time to Holt. Didn't use the left boot. Gave it to Smith, who kicked the goal that started the revival. But that kick is not up to the same standard. Out of bounds on the full. And Johnny Fidge, bit of a rough diamond, but a pretty fair footballer. Gives it to Walsh, who takes the free. Puts the Bears into attack. Harris, good player all night. Well done, Williams, who's been their best. Now Phillips, centering kick, a high one. Edmund used the body well, but couldn't grab the mark. Dwyer. Backhanded on for Stevenson. Down he goes. Great chance now for the Bears. Richardson receiving it. And, oh, great mark just inside. Schimmelbusch. Well, perhaps only he of the 36 out there might have taken it.
Out to Stevenson. Stevenson in the back pocket, drives it downfield, looking for Arsiri. And Arsiri is a splendid mark for a little fellow. Oh, he's held and should get the 15-metre. No, he won't. That's his 7th mark. He boots it downfield. It's 2-1 against them. Micken punches it wide. Down it comes, and an opportunity for Larkin. Larkin about half-back. Grandstand side. Goes one for one of those rambling runs. Sends it down towards that centre-half forward post. And the mark is brilliantly taken there by Fidge.
Centre half back finds Richardson, who's starting to win some possessions. Out in front of Harris. Pressure from Holt. Now that might be a free kick. Nope. Doesn't matter. Still wins the ball comfortably. Bit too much fancy Dan. Inboard to Dixon, who's up from defence. Long to full forward. Hind the target. Plenty of spoilers, but he's got it. Well, I thought 2 or 3 of them would certainly foil his attempt, but the big beanpole at the second bite brought it home. And from just 25 metres out, almost directly in front, from just his 5th possession, he should kick his 2nd, and Brisbane's 11th. Give them some breathing space. We're halfway through the quarter. Applause for Schimmelbusch leaving the field. As Hind kicks truly. The Bears steady with their 11th goal. And once again, they're 21 points to the good.
And Schimmelbusch is in the hands of the trainers down there. He's been a magnificent, gallant captain, as he always is.
it's an excellent mark by Hine. He's a big boy, 199 centimetres, and when you've got a player of that size, you must play in front. And he's certainly doing that. He's doing a good job down there.
Centre bounce. Stephen McCann thumps it down. Picked up brilliantly by Dwyer. Out it goes towards Hickey. Hickey with a thundering kick has put it through. Wow, what a big one. Hickey or Darren Harris, was it?
I just had a feeling it
Yes, it might have
Harris.
been too, Tim. Yes, it is. And when he really lays into one, he kicks at enormous distance. And there was a perfect illustration. There it is, Bernie. There's Dwyer.
Yes, look at this kick from just about the centre square line. There it goes. That'll have to be 70, 75 metres. He's a prodigious kicker, the ball, Harris.
So the answering goal and the margin 15 points. A real battle in this third quarter. Williams well placed to the half-forward line, although it's just running away from Richardson. He controlled it well. Oh, great smothering. I thought McCarthy was clear and would get the kick, but desperate attempt. Or in fact, it wasn't smothered. It was just such a dreadful kick that it went out of bounds on the full. Find that hard to believe. Micken takes the mark, though, on the wing, and he'll put it back whence it came.
Micken with his left foot drives it down, looking there for Jim Edmund. 2-1 against him. All go to the ground. McCarthy hooks it, and it's very close through. No, it's not through. It swings back into play. Here's Hardy, right on the boundary line. Gets it cleverly back towards his teammate. Hand pass comes out to Phillips. Phillips turns and twists, steadies, hooks it high in the air down towards the goal square. Law in front, and down they go again. Eventually it's picked up by McCann all over the ground. Out it goes wide, and the long kick will be taken there by Ross Smith.
Hasn't placed it, and Williams says too easy. Pops it into Rains, his old Collingwood teammate. Campbell up from defence. Long one. Hine out of position this time. Two in front of him and they miss it. Hardy, great chance. Great snap.
Just across the face of goal, right in the teeth of goal. It's going to be punched through by big Mark Micken. And that's another point to North Melbourne. 9-11 to 11-15 at 65 points to 81 with Brisbane leading.
In fact, the board a bit slow and it's 66 as the behind is finally registered. 15 points the margin. And still a real match. Harris, very good player for Brisbane. That's Bernie Harris. Smith almost a one-hander. Crocker, Steele, having a good quarter, but nothing there. And they've fallen down in the key forward posts. Bernie Harris again. Umpteenth possession. Walsh. Now McCarthy, who's worked very hard all night. Oh, well taken. Richardson a bit tardy then, and Crocker getting the body in front of him. When Richardson looked to have the early position, and Crocker playing a fine third quarter, helping to lead the North Melbourne revival. Holmes, Micken, Rains, Fidge, scrambling it forward for McCarthy. Crocker again. Oh, he's got some courage. Sometimes almost too much for his own well-being. O'Keefe, Williams. The Bears mounting something here. Campbell again doing some good running out of defence. He can have a shot from inside 50. It's long and it is home. A beauty. That's great play by Matthew Campbell. Running off the half-back line and eventually from just inside the 50-metre line. Kicking his first goal. The Bears 12th and they lead by 21 points.
Yes, North Melbourne started off with a flurry at the start of this quarter, but their run seems to have died a little in the last 5 or so minutes. And I think the Bears are starting to gain the ascendancy again.
Back at centre bounce. Micken and McCann. Micken won it, then recovers a good 25-metre punch. McCarthy comes in, taken away by Smith, who's been a goer all day, picked up by Bernie Harris. Out it goes to Phillips, who's played well, shoots for goal, and it's a grubber. In front is Law, in front is Stevenson. Stevenson out wide to Steele, who's a very good player and takes a courageous mark.
Great opportunity wasted by Phillips, who took 2 strides too many. It should have been a certain goal. Ackley under pressure though and doesn't kick well. Waterson started on the bench. Nice pass. McCarthy done a lot of running. Places it for Richardson. Just too far out to score. Hine lurking at full forward. Plenty of movement on the forward line, but he's going along for the big beanpole. It's a big spiral punt. Stevenson does pretty well. Phillips on top of the ball, and I think the central umpire's whistle went first for the ball up just before the ball was taken over the line for the possible throw-in, so we'll see a bounce.
Well, McCarthy's controlled centre half forward all day, and to my surprise, he's got Smith on him again. Smith is really a short 6-footer, and McCarthy's having a lovely time out there. Big leap there by Hine. Down it comes to Phillips, who redeems it and puts it through. Redeems his last mistake. That was a magnificent snap goal, and he did. His last one, as Tim so accurately said, he just took 2 strides too long and was too slow and lost a glorious opportunity. That time he made the best of a very difficult opportunity, a magnificent snap goal.
Yeah, great goal here by Phillips. Here it is now again. Snapped over his left shoulder, right through the middle. If North Melbourne don't hurry up and do something, they're going to let this game go. And I think McDonald needs to be thrown into the ruck very quickly.
The margin 27 points. Hine on the ball now and does it well. Well played, Banfield. To Phillips again for number 2. No. The margin 28 points. We're at the 23-minute mark of the third term, and in fact the lead greater now than it was at half-time, so the North revival that we thought was coming has fizzed. The Bears have steadied, and they're still in good shape to win their first match in league football.
Tap to the boot quietly, out wide it goes. Big leap over the back. There's a chance for Holmes that time. Left foot goes down to centre wing, and in front the mark should be taken by Larkin in front of Fidge. Larkin, a very, very elusive and creative player. Left foots it out looking for Jim Cracker, got everything against him. Steve McCann's there to assist. In comes the dynamite, gets it out wide. Bolting away now is Holt. Sends a long left footer, a driving kick, and it's just missed. Has it made it? It's made it. A brilliant piece of football.
It's the wobbling post caused by the desperate lunge by Waterson. But in fact, the ball bounced, did an off-break.
There's the man who starts through. James Cracker. Look at the speed, Bernie.
Yes, he's very dangerous, Jimmy, anywhere around the field, but especially around the forward line. If he gets the opportunity, gee, he's hard to catch.
So it's back to 22 points. 94 plays 72. Mossop wins at centre bounce. He's out of full forward now, but Rains, devastating stuff. Phillips, this must be his second. He's missed again, I think. No, he hasn't. Well, he's had 4 opportunities in about 5 minutes. He's capitalised on 2 of them, messed 2 of them up, but 2 out of 4 ain't bad, and a 28-point margin is very good. That one very close. Difficult one for the goal umpire, who was in perfect position, called it good.
I'd give him a lot of marks for that too, because he had the body of John Law catapulting towards him, and he showed great courage to Brent Phillips that time. He's played an inspiring 5 minutes or so. Up goes Hine on the ball, tackled by Mossop. Stacks on the mill down there. Holt is pulled out and will take the free kick. Pulled by the leg. Philip Walsh objects strenuously, but the umpires have played a free kick. Holt sends a driving left-footer down looking for Stephen McCann. In front, the opportunities there for Walsh. Out wide, here comes Cracker again, but he's taken away by Love. Love's a bit slow. McCann hits it downfield. Underneath it is taken by Dixon. Dixon gets it out to the boundary line, and it lands inside the line and bounces over the line out of bounds with North in attack.
In time on in the third term by about 45 seconds, and still North 28 points in arrears, looking to mount an attack, but the Bears breaking this attack up, and Phillips having a huge quarter. Kicks to half forward. 7 kicks in the third term, but a fine mark to Ackley. Great hands then.
David Ackley on half-back flank on the grandstand side. A chance for German, and big Mossop's in front of him. Nice look out, Asiri. Asiri sends it downfield. In front, the mark is taken by Steele again, who's full of class and quality. Sends it out looking for Steve McCann. Fidge in front, fights there with Harris. Harris in lots of trouble, gets a hand pass out, taken by Dixon. Dixon wide out, and the opportunity's there for Campbell. Campbell with his left foot kicks it very well. And the mark was missed over there in centre wing position, but the free kick will go to the Brisbane Bears.
And 15 metres, and a report for time wasting as John Holt came in and kicked the ball away. And his numbers going into the book. There's been so much said about these time wasting offences. Not much point in me adding to that. But the ball was on the ground. Holt deliberately kicked it away. And his name is in the book.
I think he's almost certain to go. There's been so much said about it.
Bit of pressure on the tribunal, I think, to start supporting the umpires. Walsh takes the free kick, plus a 30-metre penalty. Big leap from Roberts. Smith at the back. Back to the centre line. Good attempt by Steele, who finally gets the hand pass out. A good one it is too, a real sweeper. Holmes. Too short for Harris. Roberts looking for the line, doesn't find it. Love. Now Roberts finds the line. Good work by the big defender. And a throw in North Melbourne's forward pocket. 27.5 minutes gone, third term, and the Roos desperately needing a goal before the last change.
Jason Love having a bit of trouble handling the ball cleanly tonight. A good leap over the top by Hine. Here it comes out towards that Roberts. Roberts cleverly towards centre half back. Hand pass by Dixon is clever. Downfield we've got Fitch going and going very comfortably. Steadies, and it was Reynolds to centre half forward is good football. And Phillips has had an absolutely sensational third term. He's kicked 2-2. And the two he missed were very easy. A clever hand pass goes out. Richardson shoots for goal and misses, and the Bears are squandering opportunities.
And that one squandered by a man who rarely wastes them. He gets it within scoring distance. Loves to kick one and really knows where the uprights are. Stevenson to halfback. Ackley under pressure. Poor kick. To space on the wing. Bounces nicely for Dwyer. Well-placed pass. Nice delivery. Big chance for Love. Cracker. Inside 50. Pressure. Great tackle from Fidge. A bruiser and a fair one. It starts a fight. It was a tremendous tackle. And it couldn't have been better timed because the Bears were on the run.
Jimmy's gone mad there.
The ever volatile Cracker didn't appreciate being fuffed, and the runner goes down. So a very unseemly incident. The goal umpire talking to Cracker, and I suspect the news is bad for North Melbourne.
He's gone, I'm sure, Tim. I think they've got him.
Absolutely absurd, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was just a magnificent tackle by Fidge. Really, you know, there was nothing really rough or tough about it. It was just a magnificent tackle, and Jimmy should have just taken it as that.
He really lets his side down very badly, doesn't he? He's the best player on the side, and as you so rightly said, it was a perfect tackle, and he wants to fight.
Yes, it's happened just too many times. I suppose North Melbourne supporters feel that perhaps he's victimised and hard done by, but too many times he's responded badly. Dwyer, Steele from the flank. Great pass with the left boot, a beauty. Harris at centre half forward will kick from just inside 50 metres.
The way he's been kicking, Tim, I wouldn't be surprised if he got the distance quite easily here.
We've crossed the 30-minute mark. They need a goal. He's offline. Got the distance okay.
And it's on again, I think, the forward line.
Again.
Still the margin 28 points. Brisbane in front, but I'm sure we're going to be in for a fierce last quarter.
There's big Mark Roberts there who wanted to carry on that time, and he's a pretty tough customer as Roberts, the ex-Sydney Swans player from season 1986. There's Reynolds, gives him a very good lead, and out it goes towards Reynolds, and up he goes alone and unattended. A prodigious kick was that. A very good mark, plays on brilliantly. Here comes another long kicker in Campbell. Campbell 75 metres out, short and beautiful, and Phillips yet again. Phillips has kicked 2-2. He's given one away. He should have kicked 4, and now he's got the opportunity to kick his third goal for the quarter. And there goes the siren. And just prior to Brenton Phillips coming in to shoot for goal, the scoreboard is North Melbourne 10-13 to Brisbane Bears 14-17. 101 points. Phillips from 40 metres out, kicks for goal and kicks it very well. 107 points they are. And that was a sensational third term by Phillips.
He kicked 3 goals in the quarter. 3 of the Bears' 5. He had 10 possessions for the term. So the start of the last term, 107 plays 73. The Brisbane Bears in front, and North Melbourne in all the trouble in the world at the MCG. Crocker now at centre half forward, but it doesn't matter. Williams takes it away, one of the real stars. On to Phillips, the star of the third quarter with 3 goals. That one a poor kick, but spilled by Ackley. And Stevenson takes it through for a behind. The margin, 35 points.
Jamie Stevenson, recruited originally from Yarrawonga. He's played reasonably well, kicks it out wide. In front, the chance was there for Micken. Big John Mossop was the target. Out to Dwyer. Dwyer quickly to Larkin. They're in lots of trouble now. Very good bump that time by Rains. Picked up by O'Keefe. O'Keefe down towards the forward pocket. Underneath it, it's almost a mark to Banfield. And eventually it's players on top of each other. Flex on the mill. Umpire will come in to notice.
Comeback's got to come early for North Melbourne. The best part of 6 goals down. Mossop the knock. Larkin, well played. Tremendous ability and determination. Should be a fine player for North for many years to come. Throw in, just the Bears attacking side of the wing. There's Fidge, the man who dished Jim Cracker. He's a tough one. I wouldn't like to be tackled by him, Doug.
No, he's got a lot of ability. Melbourne Football Club, from whence he came, have all recognised his ability, been so disappointed that he hasn't given it to them, but it looks like he's going to give it to the Bears. Here's O'Keefe, the ex-Geelong player, high in the air, doesn't gain much with it, and a very, very fine mark taken in front. Oh, Smith, is it?
Hickey.
Hickey it is, and Hickey downfield towards centre half forward. Reynoldsson in very good position, went underneath it, and the mark is taken by Micken. Micken is captain and been a very solid contributor all day. Vice captain Williams has been splendid with 27 possessions. Out wide it goes, and a lovely leap by Hickey once again. Goes to Dwyer, but Dwyer goes over the line out of bounds.
They couldn't have asked for more from their leaders. And the off-field men, Knights and McClure, must be absolutely thrilled, although nervously so at the moment. Hickey to the wing. Steele, now German. Good pass to Cracker, getting away from Hardy. Only a bit of niggling. Poor kick from Cracker. Still a chance. Smith kicked a great goal in the previous quarter. Can't break away. That was a fine tackle from Williams, but it wins him a free kick, and deservedly so. He looks like a middleweight boxer, and he's as tough as most who fight in that division. Hardy inside to Richardson. Beaten for pace though and dispossessed. Cracker. Smith now. Holt on the members' wing. Chance to use that devastating left boot.
Holt centres it and centres it beautifully. It's a lovely kick. Right to the centre of the ground where the mark is taken very nicely by Hickey. It's Harris. Downfield, Harris was the leaper that time. In front, the chances for Steele. Steele's done a wonderful job all day. Hooks it high in the air. Won't make the distance, right to the boundary line. Underneath it, and it's punched away by Reynoldsson, who's given a good contribution as the deputy vice-captain.
Almost 4 minutes gone. Still no sign of the North comeback, but they're in attack. Micken, beautiful backhander. Fidge. Well played. Walsh. Threaded together nicely. Walsh wins it back after Waterson was beautifully disposed of. Now Phillips again. Not a good pass. Still Phillips intercepting the hand pass. Oh, great snap. I think it was Campbell, but marked just inside by Stevenson.
Stevenson, might have been Jim Edmund, I think.
Yes, it
Long
was.
kick downfield, lovely leap in front, and the mark is taken by O'Keefe. David O'Keefe, who's got a magnificent physique for a winger, good 6'1", tall and rangy, and really is a very tough opponent when he's playing well. This is the 11th kick. and there's not the slightest doubt of his intention. He's going to have a shot from goal, and he'll be just about 50 metres out as he kicks it. He kicks it very well, right to the teeth of goal. Hine almost plucked it at the last moment, and it was forced through for one behind.
And the lead, 36 points. 6 clear goals, 5 minutes into the last term. Ackley almost down the middle. Larkin, German. Schimmelbusch back on the field after going off during the third term. Nothing there at half forward, and there hasn't been all night. Fidge, Micken, Waterson. Great smother by Larkin. Brilliant work. Forces a throw in and gives North a chance to capitalise on having the ball inside its attacking half.
Well, Crocker's got to take on Micken this time. This youngster's played pretty well. Micken, the captain, does it down to Mark Williams. Micken again into it, and umpire comes in and indicates he'll bounce it again. And what a wonderful surprise it was for Mark Micken to be selected as captain. He was captain of his South Australian side, but certainly didn't expect in his first game to be captain of the league side. Does it well once again. Arsieri gets it. He was grabbed by the leg. Here's Holt, ridden to the ground by Waterson, picked up by Steele. Steele's kick is beautifully smothered. Waterson downfield, chance for McCarthy, goes past him, he runs through Moffat, kicks off the ground, and here's a chance for Hickey, but Hickey will be gathered in by Rains, I think. Hickey picks it up very skillfully, plays it well, a perfect kick across to where Ackley's got the chance. Rates downfield, sends it very long out wide looking for Holmes. Bernie Harris taps it down. Good football, Dwyer. Dwyer with his left foot hooks it back, and it's marked by Roberts. Lovely football.
And the Bears giving the impression they're not going to let this out of their claws. Come too far to let it go now. Micken. Nice left foot kick from the big fellow. Beautifully placed to Walsh, who also places it well to a one-time Collingwood teammate. Mark Williams, best on the ground. To half forward, good mark. Tremendous mark by Hickey, who's been a real goer for North Melbourne. 15 metres against Phillips. Hickey with less than 30 games before tonight under his belt. But, he's another one of that young group. Came up in 84 and 85. Well taken by Fidge. And he's up in the top half dozen or so for the Bears tonight. Melbourne normally used him in attack, but he's been back in defence, and he's looked every bit the rugged, tough half-back. Kicks to half forward. Law goes wide, and was it picked up? No, it wasn't by Dwyer. Ackley brought down. Gets a free kick. Bit tiggy touchwood compared with some of the ones that were allowed to go early in the match.
Yes, they've certainly let dozens go tonight of the umpires. In the first quarter, only 4 legitimate free kicks were given. Harris goes up and almost takes a good one. Micken spoils him, and it's booted downfield by Campbell. Underneath it at centre half forward, Mossop surprised himself. On the chest it went, but he didn't think it'd come that far, and he kicks it out wide to centre wing. Peter German's got it. Grandstand side. Schimmelbusch gives the lead. A very good lead it is too, and an excellent pass. Well played, German. That was a perfect pass. Schimmelbusch kicks it long and high down towards the 10-metre square. An enormous leap, and staying down was Crocker, who takes a splendid mark. Crocker has changed his number and is wearing number 27, one of the most distinguished numbers ever in the North Melbourne Guernsey. That was Keith Gregg's, of course. And I'm sure the club gave it to Crocker because of their belief in his ability, and he puts through a fine goal. Showed splendid judgment. Stayed down Bernie when everyone was airborne.
Yes, well, I think everyone was looking at the spectacular high-flying action there, but Crocker showed tremendous judgment and pulled in a great mark.
He turned 20 just yesterday, Darren Crocker, in his 3rd season, and he really is a prospect.
There's a local boy from out Scoresby.
Well, the margin back to 30 points, 9.5 minutes into the last quarter. Not too late for North Melbourne, but they're not really doing enough up forward to suggest that they can get up and snatch it. German, tackled high, no free kick. And the Bears bounce into attack. McCarthy receives from Banfield. Edmund in front. Spoiled by Law. And a throw in on the half-forward flank. 5 goals the difference. And the Bears looking every inch winners at the moment.
As Hine comes in to do battle with Mossop. Very nicely down from Johnny Mossop, but underneath it the chances there for Micken was taken away from him. Nice behind the play, and it's Watterson down. Oh! Siri took one, and it's on again. Centre wing position. On the outer side of the ground, it's really on again. And the book's coming out. As play goes on, here comes McDonald. McDonald left puts it down, that's taken by Crocker. Back it goes to Schimmelbusch. Schimmelbusch steadies from the 50-metre mark and shoots for an open goal. Hardy goes running towards it. It bounced through with a leg break. And Schimmelbusch kicks an amazing goal. That's his second. It was a lucky one. Hardy was the only player within 30 metres of it, and it bounced straight away from Hardy. Went sharp right, straight through the goal, and North Melbourne captain gets a pretty lucky one.
Gee, well, I thought it was all over a couple of minutes ago, but with those 2 goals, it's brought North Melbourne right back into the game, and it's not over by any means.
Well, Bernie, perhaps you could still be playing. Shimmer's still doing it. Great style. You would have been proud of that one.
Oh, yes, that was a real leg break, that one. I think Shimmer's legs are a bit better than mine.
He's kicked 2, and both of them have been great goals, and that one a telling one. 24 points the difference. Harris, Larkin, Dwyer. Here go the Roos. German. Siri lines them up. He missed. Oh, that was a bad miss from point-blank range. The momentum is gathering, and a goal there, and I think there might have been just a hint of panic in the Bears camp.
A very nice kick out goes out to Philip Walsh, who's got a bundle of kicks, and a good mark taken in front by Larkin. Full of courage and skill. Larkin is about centre wing position. Now he's been brought right down towards the half-forward flank. He'll be about 80 metres out, and off he goes. From 70 metres out, he'll put it in the teeth of goal. Behind the pack, it's punched. In comes towards Brad Hardy. Hardy being a quiet player. Hand pass goes out wide, and Schimmelbusch goes pursuing it. Lets his teammate pick it up in German. German held it a long time, and eventually it's pushed over the line by Campbell.
12.5 minutes on the clock. Plenty of time for North to get up. 23 points the margin, and again the game alive. Watterson, but nothing there for the Bears. Mossop, Holmes. Larkin, oh, with great courage, and gets a free kick. Reynolds knew he was a little late, and into the back. And this young fellow, another one who started in 84, but really they all emerged in 85 when suddenly North surprised everybody and came fourth. He's just outside 50 metres. Lovely looking drop punt. Is the distance there? Yes, it is! Tremendous goal. Earned the hard way. And North Melbourne coming back from the brink of despair, as they've done so many times under John Kennedy. Larkin's second goal, and this match is winnable for the Roos yet.
Gee, the game's really come alive now. North Melbourne looked no hope with 5 or 10 minutes to go into the quarter, but all of a sudden they've kicked 3 or 4 quick goals, and the Brisbane Bears seem to have stopped to a walk.
Centre bounce, and Micken goes up with Mossop. Mossop wins it. Larkin been brilliant after the quarter time. Out wide it goes, and out comes Schimmelbusch. He's in lots of trouble, loses the run of it. Mark Williams picks it up, he's tackled, gets it out wide to Watterson. Watterson boots it down towards centre half forward, almost taken. Here comes McCarthy, good strong play, but picked up by Smith. Smith gets it out wide to McDonald. McDonald in lots of trouble, but evades it beautifully. Left puts it very cleverly out to Larkin. He's a dangerous creator. Here to Holmes. Holmes across it goes to Dwyer. Dwyer goes bouncing downfield. Across it goes. The chance is there for Harris. Shoots for goal. And he's done it. Absolutely magnificent. And what a creative genius is Matthew Larkin. He started so many beautiful moves today.
11 points the margin. Halfway through the last quarter, the passage of the night. North Melbourne from between centre half-back and full-back. Dwyer the last hand pass, and Harris the last telling kick.
Larkins had 7 possessions this quarter.
The Roos just 11 points down after trailing by 6. Micken trying to lift his charges, thumps the Bears into attack. Hickey, Ackley, back to the centre. Oh, bad bounce, an unlucky one for Holmes. Lets in Campbell, long to the forward pocket. Great chance, but it's offline from O'Brien and out on the full. And now nothing going right for the Bears. And the Roos supporters have really come to life in a big way. Sensing victory now when they must have been contemplating packing up and going home about 10 minutes ago.
Hickey downfield, Mossop and Micken. Mossop got there first. Micken then punches it out wide. The Brisbane Bears are in attack as Banfield goes for it, and Banfield goes bouncing over the line out of bounds. It's on the half-forward flank on the grandstand side. The Brisbane Bears are leading by 10 points. In come the big fellows, John Mossop. Gets in front and a good punch from behind there. Here's an opportunity now for German. Hooks it back downfield underneath it. Campbell. Campbell takes the mark. He was going to give it. He's off. He's a good kick and a long one as Campbell. Runs into Micken. Gets his left foot and almost taken by German. Picked up by McCarthy. On to Richardson. Out wide it goes. Phillips across to the half-forward flank. O'Keefe shoots for goal and he's done it. And what a difference that'll make. Well played, David O'Keefe.
Gee, that's a steadier they needed. If they ever needed a goal, that was the time to kick one. Here we see it again. Handball over to Phillips. Phillips a quick one over the top. O'Keefe 35 metres out, makes no mistake, right through the middle. A badly needed goal to the Bears.
Yes, gives them a cushion. 17 points in front now. Micken again controlling it at the centre bounce. Williams working hard. Bernie Harris to half forward, kick dropping short. Desperate attempt by Banfield. Ackley swamped. Edmund. But a free kick to Ackley. For a push in the back. They're paying a few more now than they were earlier. He's at half-back.
And drives it down looking for Harris. Reynoldson's with him. Harris got there first and Reynolds spoils it though. Out wide it goes and Campbell overruns it badly. Free kick against Campbell, must be. Steele gets it over to Larkin. Larkin started another move. Here comes Holt onto his right foot. Hooks it across, it's dangerous. And a good punch down by Micken. Danger as Harris comes in. Past Steele it goes. And here's an opportunity for Rains. Rains steadies and drives it beautifully to the flank. And well played. Here comes Phillips, who's been a brilliant player since half-time, and he rams it through the centre. That's his fourth, and Brenton Phillips has been a magnificent player, particularly since half-time, an inspiring third term, and a brilliant goal just at that moment. And there was Jeffrey Rains starting.
And now is that delivery from Rains. Gee, he's a magnificent kick. Beautiful pass to Phillips. Phillips didn't wait and mess around. Took the opportunity to play on and from 45 metres out, put it right through the middle. And I reckon that's just about sealed it.
You appreciate kicking as one of the finer skills of the game, Bernie?
Oh, Jeff Rains, he's poetry in motion. He's a fantastic kick.
Yes, he might have lost a bit over the last 3 or 4 years, although he's done pretty well tonight, but he hasn't lost the kicking skill, and he was spot on then. And the Bears have steadied, and full marks to them. German wins it out of the centre, but Reynoldson holds them up. And half back. Goes wide. Good place to go, especially when you've got a man with a hectare, and that's Williams. Bit quieter in the second half, but a fine player nonetheless. Smith knocking it straight into the air, made no ground. Banfield under pressure. Hine, well tackled. 3 Kangaroos there. Ackley surrounded. Law. Out in front of the skipper, Schimmelbusch. But with all his desperation, he couldn't hang on to that one. Throw in on the half-forward flank for the Bears. Almost 20 minutes gone, and the margin 23 points in their favour.
McCann's off the ground. Like it, no, there he's back on now. Gets it down, and that's all could have been a free kick to us here, and he's very angry about it. And going to be booked for deliberately wasting time. He threw it into the crowd. An involuntary motion. He looks absolutely disgusted with himself. Bad luck, Bernie, don't you think? I know he's a friend of yours, but
yeah,
what do you think?
It is bad luck, but, you know, the rule's there, and really your players have just got to control themselves and not do these sort of things.
Well, I guess you're right. It's so ridiculous when you think there's been so much talk about it in this last few weeks that it was just inviting disaster, and disaster it is for Bernie Harris as the boundary umpire throws it in. Stephen McCann in front, beaten by Micken, down to range, playing very well. In front is Edmonds, punched away from him, and Brenton Phillips once again steadies and shoots for an open goal and misses, I think.
He's had an unbelievable second half. 4 goals. And he's cut North to ribbons. Not more than 10 minutes left. The Bears are just about home in their debut in the league. Hardy to Walsh. Beyond half forward for Edmund. Oh, good grab. Their strong hands and long arms. And while he's not quite tall enough to really hold down a key post when the heat is really on, he's a very dangerous forward. And if a side can afford the luxury, as Footscray once felt it could, of playing him in a forward pocket, he can be quite destructive. From 40 metres, he misses. But the Bears are retaining possession, keeping it in their attacking half. And I don't think North can prize it away from them now, with 25 points the difference at the 21.5-minute mark.
Zachary kicks beautifully towards McCann, but he's well spoilt that time. Back it comes to Stephen. On the half-back flank, he gets a hand pass. Back it goes to McDonald. McDonald to Jim Cracker. Jim Cracker, a perfect kick. A perfect kick to Harris. Full of class and artistry is Cracker. Cracker, I think, reported tonight. Downfield it goes. In front, where the mark was almost taken by Crocker. Chance there for Richardson, diving at the ball for North Melbourne, but their free kick will not be given. It'll be bounced, and the scoreboard heavily in the Brisbane Bears' favour, 123 to 98.
And the official attendance has just been posted, 14,096 at the MCG for the first match of the season. Harris smothered. Richardson showing some of his dash of former days. Let's hope he can reproduce a bit more of that for the Brisbane Bears this year. Smith the spoil from behind. Sets it up for McDonald. The Scotsman brought down. Gets a free kick for a push in the back. No doubt about that one, but it's been a disappointing Donald McDonald tonight. Normally tremendous vigour about his play, but he struggled a bit tonight. Hasn't looked his real self. O'Keefe well tackled by 2. Well done, Williams, off the ground. Great play by Waterson. And it's a desperate Bears. They are desperate Bears. They've got the match just about in their keeping. They're not going to let it go in the last 7 or 8 minutes. North deep in attack, but they've fallen down up there all night. Well played, Rains.
History in the making. I'm not sure what the heck has happened there. Obviously, we've lost our line from Melbourne. But as things were, the Brisbane Bears, I think, are going to be home. There is pandemonium here at the moment. This is terrible. I wonder whether this has happened very often in history. We're poised on the edge of a great event, and the Brisbane Bears are stopped in midstream. Obviously, a North Melbourne supporter somewhere along the line has gotten to the act. They led by 7 points at quarter time, the Brisbane Bears, 26 points at half-time, 34 points at three-quarter time. What a sensational performance by Brenton Phillips. 4 goals. He kicked 3 in the third term. He's kicked another one in this term, and certainly he's been an inspiration as far as the side's concerned. Let's go back. We've done it all tonight. Let's take a look at this as we rejoin the game. I was talking about Phillips.
Could have had 8 or 9
Phillips
goals.
kicked a goal.
In the centre of the ground it is again, and punched down by McCann. Over towards Larkin. An awkward bounce as well, trapped by Waterson, taken by Harrison. A great smother by Waterson, who's been a desperate player. Out it goes, and the chance is there for Philip Walsh. Walsh onto his left foot, to trusty one, and drives it long. Over the back to Jim Edmund. Jim better quick hand pass to Harris. Harris has got nobody to give it to. Can't find a soul. Turns and twists again. Eventually out to Banfield. He's caught. Back it goes towards Harris. Taken away from them by Steele. And Steele drives towards centre wing position. And here comes Peter German. Peter German steadies and sends it down towards Crocker. Crocker and Roberts. Roberts a big thumping punch. Reynoldsson underneath it. Has plenty of time to get away from all the danger. Steadies and kicks it short to Richardson. And Steele punches it away from him. Follows on very gallantly. Reynoldsson picks it up again and will boot them out of danger.
Thumps it to half forward. Williams, the vice-captain. Taken away from him. McCann to Dwyer. And he's in space on the wing. Good pass to half forward, but just too much pressure for Schimmelbusch to cope. And the Bears out of danger once again.
I see one of their very best players tonight, Johnny Fidge, has come off holding his groin, so that's a bad sign.
Let's hope it's not too serious. Phillips off the ground, out to the half-forward flank. Bad bounce for Richardson. But the Bears toying with the opposition now. Williams, Hardy, not too many grabs, but he'll get better with every game. That's a great centering kick. Almost Micken, couldn't get there in time to tow it through. Another behind, they're 22nd. They've had 40 shots to 28. And they lead 130 to 98 by 5 goals plus.
A great return to form by Jeffrey Rains, the man who used to be clearly the best centre man in Australia. Good kick out by Jamie Stevenson. McCarthy, the ex-Hawthorn player and a very experienced one who's played in 3 grand finals, has been a grand contributor at centre half forward. Very strong, very tough. You won't get too many easy kicks against McCarthy. Bounce at centre half forward. McCarthy goes up. McCann punches away from him. Opportunity for Richardson having a fine last quarter. Out it goes wide and taken by O'Brien. O'Brien sends it downfield and here's a chance for Micken. Should have held that one. From the back, the hand pass to Hardy. Hardy loves a goal. Shoots for it and does it. Loves a goal, does Brad. He's a magnificent player, number 5. He's kicked 2 splendid goals. And he'll just get better as the team goes on, but missing the pre-season training, he'll need a lot of work, Bernie.
Yes, as I said before, Doug, I reckon he's at least a half a stone overweight. He's carrying a lot of weight around the thigh area, and he's been fairly handy tonight, but with a couple of games under his belt, he'll be a great player for the Bears.
Well, what a wonderful victory this is. Their pre-season form indicated anything but a first-up win. And it's not going to be a win, it's going to be something of a caning for North Melbourne. Reynoldsson, fine mark. He's got better as the match has worn on, carrying some responsibility. Key defensive post, deputy vice-captaincy, and he's carried it very well. 15-metre penalty brings him to the centre line. 28 minutes gone in the last quarter.